Elsa Einstein was the second wife of Albert Einstein. Elsa had the surname of Einstein at birth, lost it when she took the name of her first husband Max Löwenthal, and regained it in 1919 when she married her cousin Albert. Early stages of her life. Elsa, the daughter of Rudolf Einstein, was born in Heckingen in January 1876. She had two sisters, Paula and Hermine. Rudolf was a textile manufacturer in Heckingen. During the regular visits with the family in Munich, she often played with her cousin Albert. In her Swabian dialect, she called him Albertel. The two parted ways in 1894, when Albert left Germany to follow his family to Milan. Married life. In 1896, Elsa married textile trader Max Löwenthal, from Berlin, with whom she had 3 children, daughters Elsa and Margot, and a son who was born in 1903 and still living in South Africa. They lived together in Heckingen. In 1902, Max Löwenthal took a job in Berlin. His family stayed in Heckingen. She divorced Max on May 11, 1908, and moved with her 2 daughters to an apartment above her parents on Haberlandstraße 5 in Berlin. She began a relationship with her cousin Albert Einstein at Easter 1912, while Albert was still married to his first wife, the physicist Mileva Marić. Einstein's divorce from Marić was final on February 14, 1919, and Elsa married him 3.5 months later, on June 2, 1919. Elsa's and Albert's mothers were sisters, which made Elsa and Albert first parallel cousins, and the fathers were first cousins. Elsa and Margot, Albert Einstein's first cousins once removed, had already changed the surname to Einstein and were now also his stepdaughters. With daughters Elsa and Margot, the Einsteins formed a close-knit family. Although Albert and Elsa did not have any children of their own, Albert raised Elsa and Margot as his own. They lived in the Berlin area, also having a summer house in Kapitz in nearby Potsdam. Elsa spent most of her marriage with Albert acting as gatekeeper, protecting him from unwelcome visitors and charlatans. She also was the driving force behind building the summer house in 1929. Later life. In 1933, Albert and Elsa Einstein emigrated to Princeton, New Jersey, USA. In autumn 1935, they moved to a house at 112 Mercer Street, bought that August. But shortly afterwards Elsa developed a swollen eye and was diagnosed with heart and kidney problems. When Elsa was diagnosed, Einstein decided to spend much of his time in his studies. It was stated in Walter Isaacson's book, Einstein, His Life and Universe, that he believed strenuous intellectual work and looking at God's nature of the reconciling, fortifying yet relentlessly strict angels that shall lead me through all of life's troubles. This quote explains how Einstein would escape from all the troubles that were occurring, by focusing on work that would distract him instead of thinking about Elsa dying. Einstein was very upset about Elsa being diagnosed. Elsa wrote that Einstein would wander around like a lost soul, which showed how tough it was for Einstein dealing with Elsa's illness. When Elsa died, Einstein was heartbroken. It was even said by his friend Peter Bucky that Einstein cried, when Peter never even saw him shed a tear throughout his time knowing Einstein. Elsa died after a painful illness on December 20, 1936, in the house on Mercer Street. Although Einstein and Elsa did not have a model romance, they did however like each other, understand each other, and were amused by each other, which in all made the bond a solid one. Not only was Elsa portrayed in Isaacson's book as a person that improved Einstein's stability, but she was a good second wife to Einstein and was a big part of his life. Many can say that Elsa was a huge influence on Einstein's life and contributed a lot with decisions that aided Einstein. Citations